Welcome to Coffee with the Kays, episode 7. We're the Kays. We've got coffee.
We have lots of coffee.
We're glad to be here.
Yay.
Awesome.
Very good.
So last time we were in a different place. You notice our background is a little bit different. Moved to a new apartment, and this is our
Very nice. It's nice. We like it here. It's very nice.
This is the result of a 2-day move.
That was it. Yes. 2 days. It was insane. Yeah, a whole long story, but basically I had 2 days to, when I found this place and the end of my lease to get out of the old place and into the new one. But I'm glad to be here.
And it's nice.
It's a nice place.
It's very nice.
It is nice.
It's not as much coffee room.
Well,
for all the paraphernalia.
well,
He's gonna start looking for a new place now.
Here's the thing.
That's it. Other people call that counter space.
Some people would look at the room where I store all of the coffee and the paraphernalia and say that's a bedroom. But I don't think that.
You might crash in there one day.
It's the coffee room. Okay.
Well, we have to get to the coffee because it's not hot anymore. We had a little bit of technical
I tried my
difficulties.
best.
Luke.
Yes.
It's Luke, yes, but we do
father.
want to talk about the taste coffee that we have.
This one.
Yes.
Because we want to thank the Spear family in Hawaii. Thank you, Amber, Ron,
There we go.
Aaron, and Jackson, super duper trumpet player
Thank you.
extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I haven't tasted it yet. Is it good?
It's delicious.
Let's
It
try
is.
it. Yeah,
Well,
this
we're
was
trying-
good.
And this is like the second time that
At least.
they've given us
Yeah.
coffee. Maybe
Yeah,
even
but this
more.
is different
They
Kona
go.
than the last time.
This is a French roast.
This is
better.
really good.
It's
Oh
better
my
than
gosh.
the other one.
Oh yeah, this.
I mean, we should have done that. We should have compared the two coffees.
I know, but we drank the other one so fast.
Yes, that was it. It was gone. But this one's not going to last either because
Yeah, it's
my
delicious.
gosh,
It's really good.
It's really good.
So I just did that with a pour over. I was throwing around the idea of like Chemex or French press or whatever. But I just figured standard pour over would give us a good idea of what it is.
Oh, it has a lot of flavor.
It sure does.
Very thick body.
Fruity.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit of that. There's
You getting
chocolate.
fruity?
I'm getting notes of
I
chocolate.
don't know. I'm really
You
bad
always
at
get
this.
notes
I
of
try.
chocolate.
Well, I mean, because we're always trying dark coffee.
She's always getting orange. You're
Yeah,
always
I
getting
know.
chocolate.
It doesn't taste like fruit to me, but it's very.
What
It
fruit are you?
lingers in your mouth. I don't know.
The aroma is amazing, though.
Yes.
Like, that was
I didn't
the-
even smell it. It went right down.
No, that's what you want to wake up to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That smell.
Absolutely.
That's really good.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was fabulous. So then I opted to get a big cup, a regular cup with the Kona and some cream. So I wanted to try that option. So we wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit.
So
And
that's the
This
Kona.
and
just
it is
with
so
the-
pretty.
the
If
cream.
you're listening to us, it's got 3 layers. It's beautiful. It's got the dark brown, and then the middle kind of a tan, and then the light off-white kind of cream on the top. It's lovely.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
I love it. And
Josh gets quite good at
yes,
that.
he is, and I've gotten better at it. When I make my afternoon coffee.
I still want to be able to do the art in it, where they draw the pictures and stuff like that. They're like just
Oh, that's a whole nother taste there.
yeah. Well, that is the Intelligentsia espresso roast, Black Cat espresso roast.
With cream.
This is the stuff that I tried black at our house. Right?
No.
What was that?
What was that?
I don't know, belly rub, one of those.
No, it was like bullet.
Oh
coffee
yeah,
or
yeah.
something
That,
like
what was that bullet coffee? That
Oh,
you had?
Black Rifle.
Black Rifle, yeah.
Yeah.
Black Rifle
Ooh,
coffee.
that stuff will put hair on
Yeah,
you.
that was strong stuff. Yeah. Well, that's the same. I mean, this is the same type of thing. It's an espresso roast. I made that with the aeropress. For those of you who don't know what that is, you grind up the coffee, you put it in this cylinder, and then you plunge it down. Makes a really good cup of coffee. Makes it pretty quick. And you can do espresso. You can grind it pretty fine because the filter is really small, so it filters out those small particles. You could get that. It's not exactly the same as espresso out of a machine, but get you pretty close.
Did you notice?
I did. Yes.
Uh-oh.
I know.
I know.
It was like, yeah, there you go. Go Browns.
Browns flex. There we go.
That's it. That's
Awesome.
it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
Well, we'll talk about them later because they're doing good now. And that's awesome.
What are you drinking, Josh?
Oh, I've got a Nespresso made Conga Congo. I say
Congo.
conga.
Yeah,
because I'm
no,
a
it's
musician.
not- yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. That's what I get for being a drummer.
Yeah.
Called a country conga. Congo. This is Congo
Probably
coffee.
play on
right?
the package.
I know,
There you
right?
go.
That's it. So yeah, this is. I literally forgot about this. I bought it a while back. It was single sourced from a certain region of Congo, and I put it in a box and forgot about it. And then when I moved, and you have to pack up everything you own.
Yes, you
all the
found
stuff,
it.
you
There it
start
is.
finding stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
I was
go.
then I opened up this drawer and went, oh my gosh, I have all this coffee in this drawer. And see, when I first moved in, I thought like this is a great place to put all these boxes of coffee, and then I put them in there and forgot. About it. So
Well, it's good stuff.
yeah,
Good coffee.
it's good.
And this tastes amazing with the cream. I mean, it still has the great taste of the Kona. I love
Well,
that.
and this is the thing is when you have 100% Kona, that impact that you're feeling right there is what you get. You know?
It is amazing.
And
it
it's-
is really amazing.
There's other
It is-
blends and stuff like
it's not
anytime,
the same.
and this is the problem.
Up there with the weasel coffee, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Well,
yes.
and this is the thing is, you know, when you try to buy it here in the mainland, you know, it's really expensive, you know, and if you even if you order it and have it shipped, it's still like you're talking like $40 a bag,
Yeah.
you know.
Wow.
And so you know, first of all, thank you, Spirit's family, for you know
Oh, we love
sending
this.
this to
This
us.
is
'cause
so great.
It's such a treat. It's very special. But that's the thing is, you know, this would be considered, you know, more of the high end, you know, kind of
It's
coffee.
worth it.
So, 100%.
I really like it.
This is
Can you
black
tell?
tie coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
right. There you go. There you
I
go.
like it. But I
we get
told-
dressed up to drink this coffee.
Yeah.
That's
yes.
right.
I wanted to shout out a few students with coffee because Summer Mobley is one of our guitar students, and
Mm-hmm.
he gave us some Drowsy Poet Southern Pecan
Oh
beans.
my gosh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was good.
And
too.
that was delicious.
It was so good, I didn't have any.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
snooze, you lose, man. You know.
Yeah.
don't, no, we still have some. I've
Oh,
been
do we? Oh,
sparingly.
okay. I need to
yes,
try
I
some.
just
We
have
need to
it
drink it all.
hidden.
Yeah, that's good.
No, and it and the beans were really tiny. It was
Yeah.
kind of unusual.
It almost
looking.
reminded me of that pea berry. You remember that? We had that
Yes.
a while back, you know, and that you know where there's two seeds in the
pod.
Yeah.
But it's very good, and I love the
That's
Southern
like
Pecan
an
flavor.
awesome dessert coffee.
It was very
Oh yeah.
good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have a
Afternoon.
pecan pie and a little bit of that, man. That'd be woohoo.
That
There
was
you
good,
go.
and I
Yeah.
like that with cream
Or
and
even a
without
brownie
cream.
with,
Yeah.
with something
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Just
Yeah.
be
That
really
sounds
good.
great. That
So
sounds
we
great.
appreciate that, and you know.
Well, and Drowsy Poet is a local roaster,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from here in Pensacola. So you know, it's always good to support local places. you
yeah,
know.
and it was it's very good coffee. So we've enjoyed
Thanks to
that.
Summer for that. That
Yeah.
was-
Thank
That
you,
was
Summer.
great.
That was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And a while back, Gary Cerezo gave us some Honduran coffee.
Yeah, we
from
tried it on
Honduras.
on one of the podcasts.
Yes, and we
That
that
was
was
good coffee,
Yeah.
too.
that was very good. I'm sure that didn't last very long.
Well,
either
I'm telling you,
because-
but here's the thing. I actually still have some of that left. It's
Oh.
actually keeping really well.
Okay.
And I've been able to make iced coffee with it.
Oh.
It's been really good for
Yes.
iced coffee. And that was something too that I recently read about and I started trying is, you know, sometimes we get all these coffees and, you know, we'll try them initially and they're really, really good. But then we've got like 7 or 8 open bags and stuff starts to go stale. You know, it never goes to waste unless it's wilderness coffee. Because that
We
was
just
a whole
won't
thing.
talk about that.
That was a whole thing. That wasn't a gift from a student, by the way. That was just my
A mistake.
dumb mistake. Yeah, but that's the thing is we never waste any of the coffee, but it does start to go stale after a little bit. and-
So, what did you do at the Maxwell house?
Oh no, that one in the trash. That didn't even last. Oh my god. I didn't even save the can because part of me was like, I could save the can and I could pre-grind some of the coffee and put it in the can. And just the smell of the can, I couldn't
Yeah.
take it.
That's
And I
what
had
it
to throw
tasted
yeah,
like.
yeah,
and we
just a
really
good
didn't
can,
want to
yeah.
like give it to anyone because
Yeah.
Well, it was aluminum.
Friends
coffee.
don't give friends bad coffee.
there you go. Let's
what
put it
is,
right. That's
okay?
good. Very
Very
good.
important.
It's just
That
what
is
it
so
is.
funny.
So
Yes.
yeah, so anyway, when coffee starts to go stale, turning it into iced coffee is a good idea because you know when it sits like a cold brew and it sits in the fridge for a while, or if you do like the flash pour, you know, like I like to do, you know, it comes on a different, you know, it takes on a whole different level. You know, it's a different.
Well, that's a
chemical
good
process,
idea
you
because
know.
I do have some. I actually have some wilderness still in there, and I thought maybe we could do that. I'll just make iced coffee and keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
It would be good.
Yeah.
It'd be good. I was thinking of doing it because I like the flashboard style. I feel like makes it a little bit more fresh, taste wise. I don't know how well it sits though, but I was wondering if I made like a bunch of batches of the flash chill and then put it in a carafe and then stuck it in a
Yeah.
If that would keep well. I don't know. We'll see.
So, Ron, tell us about the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, you're going to jump right into that.
I am.
She's going for it. She's not
She's
following
going to
her.
mess up the
Oh,
order.
I'm
and
sorry.
everything.
I messed up
Following
the
her
order.
formula. It's okay if it's on her. If it's on her mind.
We can get it out of the way.
We said we would do music and then do football.
Browns.
I know, and
Yeah.
I already forgot. And I am like,
Well, we've been
It's
following.
habit.
We've been following the same format.
It's a psychological thing. You're
I know,
seeing this
I
shirt
can't-
just
It's
kind
just
of
like
makes a Browns fan out of you.
Well, let's just dive into it here. It's we'll just go right for it, okay? So, and we're at 10 minutes in, so I think this is good. So we could go from here. So,
well, we beat Pittsburgh. I mean, come
Beat
on. Is
Pittsburgh.
nobody going to say that? That was
well, and
amazing.
by the time this podcast comes out, we might have lost to whoever else we're playing next
I know,
week.
Yes.
But,
right now we are having a
we're-
winning season.
we're riding high, baby. We're
not
number
winning.
one in the
it's
AFC
not
North.
a winning season.
2-1.
Yeah, we're
I
2
thought
and
it was
1.
1 and 2.
No,
2-1.
we are 2 and 1.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
2-1.
My
We're
mistake.
number one in the AFC North, above Pittsburgh and Ravens and all of that.
I
Well,
know.
but-
Can you believe it? Oh,
But
All right, here we come.
why do you slam me like that? I'm your father.
I know. Now I will respect my father. Go ahead.
There is something that bothers me about a professional that's getting paid a whopping amount of money to put on a uniform and play in the NFL. They can't make an extra point.
Ah, okay.
And this started a couple years ago where it's like a disease. It's like the cold. Everybody started catching it. All the kickers started missing extra points. And it was like, what am I missing here?
Yeah.
I know.
And it's Kaye York. He'll hit out, he'll go out of the stadium, kick over the stadium wall, across the field, and through the goalpost.
Yeah.
Well,
But he
that's it.
can't make an extra point.
No, and
Exactly.
that was very disappointing because he's the only kicker this year in the league that was drafted, and so already the high expectations. Yeah, there we go. And he can kick like 70-yard field goal, and so and he's got quite a leg, and he's done it consistently. But we lost by 1 point, and
that's it.
because he didn't make that an extra point.
Well,
kick.
would have gone into overtime, and who knows what would have happened after that. But there were a lot of other mistakes.
Well,
but
yes,
that
there were.
You
And-
do
and
so many times.
It's the coaching. I don't blame Kaye York as much as I do.
Oh, you mean like from special teams?
Prefer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because, to me, they should be playing those special teams players like their job depends on it.
Yes.
Which it
But that,
should,
no,
Yeah.
that is not the mentality.
No.
It's got the little, pooky little honey bear, come on over here. You'll do better next
his arm
time. We
around
know
his-
you meant better. Not like,
talking to
what the
him.
hell is wrong with you,
Yeah,
man?
yeah, I know.
And
Different styles, right? Different.
they can't catch the ball on the kickoffs.
Yeah.
They do stupid stuff like there's a guy 6 inches from your face and you're not going to call a fair
Well,
catch.
I know. Well, and so
That's suicide.
there's a lot of things that are factoring into that. So first of all, Dimitri Felton is the dude that they decided to go with, and he really doesn't have much experience with that. Then they went to Jerome Ford, who's brand new, and so he doesn't have a whole lot of experience.
He's all passion and no common sense.
Grant Hill was going to be the return man, and he was experienced. He's a Pro Bowler. That's like his specialty was kickoff returns and punt returns. And he got injured in training camp and ended his season. So then after that, it was like nobody had a plan B, and I don't really understand that.
Aren't coaches supposed to think about that kind
Exactly.
of stuff?
Isn't
You
that
put
called
all your
depth?
eggs
Yeah.
in one basket.
And then, who knew they would kick an onside kick? I mean, I bet you didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, in the Jets game.
In the
yeah.
Oh, my
and that's
God.
the game we're talking about. Yes, we beat the Steelers, and it was amazing, and we're flying high on that.
Well, but he
the
missed an extra
last
point
week-
in that game. In
Yes,
the
he
Yes,
Steelers
he
game,
did.
too.
We are happy, though. I will shout out to our nephew Ryan. Ryan
Oh, yeah,
Stensgaard, and the
yes.
Big time
Stensgaard
Jets
clan
fan,
in New Jersey.
yes.
He's a Jets fan, and so we were
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Yeah, and we
He
were,
doesn't get to celebrate much, Ryan,
No.
because
No.
the Jets don't, they don't win much. But
Yeah,
he's
we
having a party
understand
now.
the pain. We understand.
yes,
the
we
pain.
do, and
But
it was good.
who knew they were going to, do an onside kick? Everybody,
Everyone, yes.
And so, do they train the special teams to be ready for an onside kick? And what
Right.
do? You scoop it up and you run with it. Is
Yeah,
is
I
that
know,
the
I know.
common
Like,
wisdom
yeah,
that's
come
going on in the
man.
Browns camp?
Well, and here's the
What
thing.
idiot is giving this advice?
Here's the thing. They did it again.
They did it in the
Steelers
last.
That's
game.
what I'm
Steelers
saying.
game.
Yeah. If it wouldn't have gone
But
out
it
of
went out of
bounds.
bounds.
Yeah.
Fall on it.
Hallelujah.
What's the
I
big
know,
deal?
I
You're
know.
not going to be a hero.
Yeah.
You'll be a
No,
hero.
They're thinking like catch it. Like,
Yeah.
Like I
You
gotta
can't
catch
catch
it.
Get possession of the ball, period.
No.
Fall
Yes.
on it.
Dive on it. Hug it into you.
And I like it
Yeah.
because the announcer's like with his little pencil,
Yeah, yeah.
well, they're probably going to onside kick it right here. And
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was to the other side.
Yeah.
So the announcer didn't see that coming, but
Right.
it doesn't matter.
It
They're
doesn't matter.
professionals. They're
Yeah.
supposed to
Yeah,
be
this
ready.
is what you're
and you're
supposed
supposed to fall on the stupid ball.
Well, and
man.
especially
Well, and
somebody,
they'd already, even the announcers with that Jets game had already counted the Browns had won. And they were going, oh, this since 19, whatever.
Yeah,
This
93, yeah.
they hadn't won 2 games in a row and all of this stuff.
Oh yeah. Well,
And then-
so
then
many,
we lost.
Yeah, so many
It
people
was like,
that
but-
was this common story was they were texting family and friends and
I
saying, "Oh my
know.
gosh, we're 2-0," and then it just
And then we lost.
fell out.
But I got to give the Jets props. I felt like they deserved to
They
win.
held
Well,
in.
They held in
And
there.
same with the Steelers. They did a really good job of playing too. I mean, albeit dirty. They,
It was
Yeah.
dirty.
There was
The
a
whole
lot
thing
of
dirty.
blatant dirty playing,
Yes.
which really
They
makes
didn't
me
get
kind of
called.
mad.
Yeah.
And
Because
you know,
this isn't the wide world of wrestling. It's professional
Right.
football.
Right.
Look it up in the dictionary, man.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Google it.
There was frustration that was happening, and then they very blatant face masks.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
personal
Oh, geez,
fouls.
terrible.
break a guy's
Horse
neck,
collar,
paralyze
I
him
Horse
for
mean-
collar,
life.
yeah, and not getting, and
And the refs, I didn't see nothing.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
something?
It was
I didn't
bad.
see
Exactly.
nothing.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, I was happy that we won. I mean, I was. I wore my jersey on Friday to school, and
There
you
you
have
go.
your brown shirt on, and
Da-da-da.
so I mean, we're enjoying football season. Josh has us playing fantasy football this
Yes,
year,
yes,
and so
yes.
that's been a whole new dimension for us, which is really. It's really a lot of fun. And
Well, the
and,
best thing about fantasy football and somebody said this to me a while back, and then I was like, I totally understand, is that now you have buy-in on all these games,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yes,
You
yeah.
wouldn't have cared about
No.
the Giants playing whoever,
No.
Yes.
but when you got Saquon Barkley on your list, you know what I mean? When you got all these guys that are playing on these different teams, you want to root for them because you want them to do well for your
Yeah.
team.
Now, in all fairness, Ron and I are not doing that great. Both of us.
Well, you won. I mean,
I know, but
Yeah,
not
you
by
say you're
much.
not doing great. You had
Yeah.
like one of the highest scores last
Oh,
week.
I'm sorry.
See how
I
she
didn't
plays
realize
it off?
that.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't
This
know.
is how it always goes, folks. This is how it always goes because she wins everything. all
I
right?
don't. Well, I kinda do.
She
I'm
wins
sort
pretty
of
much
one of those
everything. She's the
people.
kind of person, like literally, no joke, true story. Okay, and you know what I'm going to say. True story. We go to a raffle to get a year's membership for NAM. Okay, and it's raffle. There's people coming from all over the country to this thing. Okay, that are entering this raffle. She walks up to the table and she tells the lady, "I really want to win this. I'm going to win this.
I'm going to win."
She
That's what
says,
she said.
"I win things a lot. I'm going to win this."
I'm a very lucky person.
That's it.
The lady's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
okay,
She was-
wink,
she
wink,
was- That's sweet. That's okay.
And then she won it.
And then the lady called herself to tell it, and she was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, she
you won!"
remembered me.
Yeah, how? And so this is how it goes. But what is so crazy about it is she doesn't care if she wins or not.
that's it.
And that's what makes it more infuriating
She has-
to everybody else who
She
plays
has
against
such a
her.
pure attitude.
Yes,
towards all this stuff.
I know.
I like
and
playing
we
games.
we're always so competitive. Yeah, I love the time at Bass Pro Shops. I told Ryan that story.
Oh, yeah.
when we
About
first
me.
started because Ryan's in our fantasy football. Shout out Ryan. And Connor, shout out Connor. Connor's in it too.
Connor. Yeah.
So, and we want to get more people next year, but we'll have to do that. But that was it. I was telling Ryan about the time at Bass Pro Shops with the rifle game.
Yeah.
And like we're all, if you guys have been to Bass Pro Shops before, sometimes they have these lasers, rifles, and you get to shoot, different targets and stuff and rack up points. And we're all three of us, me, Caroline, Dad, are all playing, and Mom can't figure out how the thing works.
Yeah. I don't want to shoot nobody. It's a gun. I don't want to do this.
It's a laser. It's not. And it's just like, well, where's the laser line up? And we're all shooting.
It's not making any noise.
That's it. She's like, I don't know what. And
I'm pulling the trigger.
And then that was it. And finally, one of us was explaining to her what you had to do, and then she just stops. Oh, wait a minute. So it's like a game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ka-ching, 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 ding, ding,
That was the end
ding.
of it right there.
Oh, is 10,000 points a lot?
I don't think it
we
was
all slammed it
10,000.
down and walked away.
I said, give me another quarter.
It's
Let's
very
play
typical
again.
for her to be on that.
Yeah, there is a little bit of me, and I will say that kind of feels bad because people always will win something, and they're like, I never win, and then I'm like, I win all the time. I'm sorry.
Publishers Clearinghouse. I mean, this really isn't uncommon for me.
Well, and so people tell me like, well, you should be playing the lottery, and it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to win the lottery, I guess, because I don't.
Yeah.
But when we do buy those tickets, we usually get at least one little winner. We buy those little scratch-offs. Sometimes,
that's fun. It's fun.
I mean, sometimes not. I don't always get a winner. I will say.
Not always.
That's
But
it.
it's
you do win a lot.
I do win a lot.
This fantasy football has been fun. I've really enjoyed doing it the last few years.
I love it.
I'm glad you guys are getting
Well,
into
it really is fun because then Josh will the first week he's like giving me advice, and now he's like, forget that because then
I'm crashed out, and then I hear him coaching her. I'm like, wait a minute, man, what are you doing?
Well,
and then all of a sudden things started turning around.
I know.
So I picked up
players
Waddle. He does that little Waddle when he did
Waddle's good.
So I have him again today, and
I don't think he's going to score 40 points like he did.
No, probably not.
But I am excited to see that him and Tua are finally connected.
Yeah.
And I always liked Tua. I always felt like he deserved a shot. It's kind of like Jalen Hurts, where it was like these Alabama quarterbacks, big time in the spotlight and stuff, and then that first couple of years don't seem to pan out quite as good, but if they stay with it, they end up developing.
It's an adjustment period.
Well, they grow up and they mature and they get the experience. I mean, I think that was what was kind of fun watching Joe Flacco play because you saw the experience.
Oh,
in
big
him.
time.
You saw how he really was calm under pressure, and he looks and he read the field. And I was never a Joe Flacco fan ever.
No, we
Especially
got
because
tired of
he
hearing
played
his
for the
name.
Ravens. And then they won the Super Bowl, and all you could hear was Joe Flacco.
But I really did appreciate watching him play. He's an excellent quarterback.
You had to respect his game.
You had to respect him, and I was kind of rooting for him. I mean, I wanted to win, definitely. I know, I'm sorry, but it was really nice to watch a seasoned quarterback and what that looks like.
Well, and honestly, truthfully, I wasn't upset that the Jets won. Because,
I wasn't either. I felt bad
and they
about
deserved
that.
it. They deserved it.
Well, that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
they played better.
They were the better team. Yeah. So we'll see how they do. Everybody's talking about this Garrett Wilson now, that wide receiver, the one that did the one-arm catch and all that stuff. And they're saying that
don't
he's
even
the future.
Get us going.
Even OBJ commented on
it. Did he?
Oh, did he comment?
Well, that's good.
This is really dirty, man.
There you go. That's good. That's good. He because he changed the game.
OBJ,
I really think that it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be like 10 years from now. There's going to be an ESPN 30 for 30 or something like that on OBJ, and how he improved the wide receivers.
He stepped it up, and he raised the level.
Yeah,
kickers. I remember Dempsey in the '60s. He hit a 50-yarder, then he hit like a 62-yarder, and that record stayed for decades.
62, huh?
Yeah. And then now,
I think
that's nothing, man.
Yeah, is it Tucker from the Baltimore? I think he has the record. Or I think it's Tucker. I think Tucker. He said it last year. He beat it last year. I don't remember. It's well over 70.
What, Dempsey's record?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's over 70
It's
now.
been
yeah.
beat for years,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
you know, that was like he had a club foot, and everybody thought that was like
Oh,
part of the
yeah.
reason he made those because
Yeah.
he didn't have the front part of his foot.
How about that? Yeah,
He
yeah.
just hit it like a baseball bat.
That's
you know?
it. That's it. You know, it's funny because growing up, I had a book that had it was all about football greats. You know, and that was the story of when he set that record.
Yeah.
It was in
Oh,
there.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Took everybody's breath away, man.
Yeah.
No one ever thought that was a
That
possibility.
was it. Yeah.
I just think it's funny that Ryan is a Jets fan because we up in New Jersey we were Giants fans. So I don't know
Yeah.
when the switch happened. Somehow.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
funny.
Yeah, because
Well, Uncle Gary is all into it too. I mean,
yeah, but he's
I
more,
think he's
Uncle
just
Gary's more of a Giants
more of
fan.
a Giants
yeah.
fan. Yeah.
And so it's maybe that's why Ryan picked the Jets.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
it could be that it was
Yeah,
just
that's it.
to have that rivalry there.
Well, I
in the
just
family.
always remember that the year that Grammy died was the year
The
that
Giants won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes,
that was so cool.
That was really
That was
that
really-
was nice.
It was really special.
Yeah, that was very.
Well,
really
there is
neat.
one thing I want to talk about that I think is pretty newsworthy was Myles Garrett's interview where he started blaming the fans
After the Jets
for
game.
booing him.
Yeah.
Now, you got to understand, I love Myles Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
an absolute beast when it comes to sports. He can do
Absolutely.
any sport. He does basketball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
we love him.
he's incredible. And he's a really great guy, apparently. I
Yeah.
mean, he does a lot of
It's that
Good
Water
thing.
Boys
charity.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Providing clean
just a
water. Different
super
countries.
guy, man, you know?
Yeah.
And redeemed himself big time
From the helmet
from
incident.
the helmet thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he's like got this idea that like the fans aren't allowed to boo
Yeah.
the Browns when they suck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know,
Do you know Cleveland?
well,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you've been reading your own press clippings too much.
Well,
man,
I
you know?
think he was upset. Somebody else said that one of the things about how the series of events went down with the press conferences, they usually give them like a day or two before they do the press conference. And because of the short week, Thursday,
Oh, yeah.
they were having press conferences every day.
Oh.
So they didn't have time to like cool off and think before they speak. And so
Yeah.
he was just shooting from the hip. And
Obviously.
yeah, and I think Jim Donovan said it the best. He was like, if there was any time that your performance should be booed, it was that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
If you were in a theater and you were watching a performance on stage
Yeah.
that was as bad as your performance on the field,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people would be booing, and that would be expected.
That's appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a good way of looking at it, really.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
just was a sad moment for me because I like him so much, and
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get over it. And
Well,
get
I
over it.
think so, and I mean, as
And he
shown in
probably,
the
like you
last
said,
game.
he was emotional.
Well, I
and,
think
you know.
he was. He always seems to give everything he has.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
And I think that was the thing, is he gave everything he had, and they fell short, and then
Right.
the crowd's booing, and
Yes.
that made him
Yeah.
upset because
Right.
he gave
So,
everything he had. But
the ones that are paying you all this money
yeah,
well, that
don't have the right to do anything but cheer you on, no matter how you
but
perform.
that's the thing, and it's not Myles
insane.
Garrett against the Jets. It was
no, it was the
the
whole team.
Cleveland Browns
Right.
against the Jets. You know,
And like we like to say, like I said before, that Cade York, he missed the extra point, and
Right.
we would have been ahead. They wouldn't have been, and all this, but it wasn't just his mistake. There were a lot of other mistakes throughout
yeah,
the game
yeah.
that contributed to that
all
loss.
right, let's
So
touch the coaching subject
oh man, okay.
because
do
Joe
we have
Woods.
time? Because I think we're over our football quota
Joe
time
Woods.
That's it.
He only does really well when he feels like he's going to get fired. If he
I know,
doesn't.
right? Doesn't
That's
he
the
step
only
it up?
motivator for Joe Woods.
He always
They
steps
did
it
better,
up
and
when
then-
he's
Threaten
on
him
the
to be
hot seat.
fired,
Right.
and he
It's so
starts
funny.
playing football.
It's so
Otherwise, he's like doing his taxes or something.
Well,
I don't
even
know
the
what he's
announcers,
thinking.
like-
He overanalyzes. He overthinks.
I don't know.
The 12 men on the field penalty. Like he even said in the press conference, he was like he saw the coverage. The coverage he had out there was fine, but then he started thinking about something else, and he said, "Oh no, they're going to do this. I need to switch him out real quick." And then he pulled him last second, and then they snapped the ball, and that
Yeah.
was
There's
it.
such a thing as a clock.
Yeah, well, and then he said, I was
think it-
overthinking everything.
Yeah.
He seemed to own up to his mistakes, which I think was good. But
And he showed some improvement
Yes, it was
Yeah,
better
in the
this
last game,
They
you
did
know.
better,
But
yeah.
you know, we are in only week 3, so I'm kind
I
of
know.
like, I want to wait and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Well, and
here.
you know, we had these conversations last year
yeah,
because he was doing
Yeah,
the same
it was
thing.
the
He was
same thing.
failing miserably until
And-
the pressure
and he
from the
pulled it
public
out.
got on him.
Yeah.
Then he started
He
turning
pulled-
around,
he
paying
pulled it
attention.
out. So,
oh yeah,
you
I'm
know.
supposed to get involved in this. You know,
for real.
And the other thing that you would never hear me say is that Stefanski's coaching has gotten a little bit better.
What?
Yeah. His play calling.
Yes.
His play calling. Now, it's still,
Repetitive.
I think
at
it's like a
times.
disease.
Yeah.
Because he has this left tackle thing.
Yeah.
That if he goes left tackle on a run, you know what the next play is going to be?
It's the exact same
left
thing.
tackle on
Yeah,
a run.
it's the exact
Check
same
me out.
Yeah.
Next game they play, next Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
if they go left tackle on a run, even if it doesn't go anywhere,
He's
the
gonna do it
next
again.
play is going to be that same
Gonna do
play.
it again.
Now, I don't know why he does that because it very, very, very rarely works.
It does
And he
not.
does it in critical situations.
Yeah. Well, it always seems like it's first down, run, and then you know second down is going to be run, and then they're going to pass, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If they pass on the first down, then it's like, okay, now it's going to be something different. But if they run on first down, they're running on second down.
But
Yeah.
they, at least what he's doing this year so far is he is using Chubb and Hunt together.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
And that
Finally.
was the problem last year. They were not using Chubb and Hunt, and then Hunt got hurt.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't use Hunt, and
Well,
then
and there were 2 plays in the Steelers game where they had both of them on the field and faked everybody out.
and faked everybody out.
Faked the cameraman
out.
Yeah.
And then,
Faked
you know,
it to Chubb and then gave it to Hunt. So yeah.
They were,
Yeah,
and so that's our strength, and
Yeah.
that's what they should be doing.
And
so
that's what he seems to be doing now. So
Yeah.
it's good. So, you know, there we go. This brings us caught up to week 3. And, you know, we'll see how it goes moving forward. And, you know, it's definitely not boring being a Browns fan.
no, it's
No,
not.
never.
For real.
Football's fun.
That's it. All right. Well, we're going to take a break right there, and we'll be back with some music stuff.
Ron Kaye's music instruction has been trusted by thousands in Pensacola to learn, play, and love music. Our strong passion for teaching music provides expert knowledge and guidance which helps you succeed and have fun with your music lessons. Whether it's a bucket list dream or a desire to enhance your child's life, our music lessons are the answer. Call 850-453-9966 now. Realize your musical dreams. Visit musiclessonspensacola.com today.
And we're back. So let's talk about music. What's on your mind, guys?
Well, I was just going to ask you guys, did you have a good week? How are things going? Any milestones with students this week? Breakthroughs? Exciting
I don't know if it was
news?
milestones per se, but, you know,
Well,
had some students that realized the importance of counting in practice.
That is amazing.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and I'll tell you, I don't think I got to tell you this. I did tell Dad. I have Zachary, Deacle Zachary, shout out to Zachary and his
There you go.
family. He has discovered the necessity and the joy of counting
Yes.
out loud while he's playing. And
It's good.
He counts out loud when he's playing. He started doing eighth notes several weeks ago and really realized that he has to count the eighth notes in order to make sure that he's playing them correctly. And he said something like, and you know, Miss Kaye, you know, if you don't count when you're playing, you're just totally screwed. I was
All
like,
right.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it
That's
was
in your
That's
face.
hilarious.
it was really
That's
funny
hilarious.
because, you know, first of all, he's a kid, but when
Be
they
like,
get
absolutely.
that, yes, when you get that revelation, like
Yeah.
it reminded me, he reminds me very much of you when you were little, because when you get something, you're like the first person
Like
that
you
ever,
invented it.
yes.
Yeah.
And he's
I
like
still
that.
do that.
Yes, you do. But there's such a joy in that, because it's kind of, there's a purity in that, and he's a homeschooled kid,
Oh,
and
is it? Yeah.
and he
But
loves to learn.
it's an excitement. That's
It is
what
an excitement. It's
an
great.
excitement. Right. Because you get excited when you learn it and you see it, and then you want to share that with other people, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, it comes across like, hey, did you know? But it's like, because I'm feeling that way, I want
Yeah.
you to feel that way too. And you're like, yes, I already know that the earth revolves around the sun. Yes, I learned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but, you know, that
With
was
you, it's like, I just discovered oil on our property.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
What do you mean you know that?
That's what it's like. I remember coming to Mom one time and being like, Dad's really smart. Like, I was like, 'cause I was learning stuff, and they would be like, yeah, I know that,
But it is really neat. So I said to his mom on Saturday, I said, Mom, I guess you didn't realize you were going to learn so much about music. And she started laughing. She said, no, but she's learning with him. I mean, maybe mechanically she's not actually playing, but I'll tell him something and she'll say, she's talking about the second measure. Go to the second measure, the third beat.
That's
What is
awesome.
that note? And I mean, she's
good.
right
She's
there
on
on it. And
that's great.
See, that kid's going to succeed.
Oh, it
That's that
is.
kind of
He's already
support.
succeeding.
Yeah.
He's doing really great, and I just I really love it. He's a joy to teach and a pleasure, and he encourages me. It's a nice way to start my Saturday morning. So it's
it
really
is
nice.
funny because I had another student, a younger student, Van, and he had the same kind of revelation.
Yeah.
I've been talking to him about counting. Counting is difficult. For some. And
I think it's difficult for everybody.
It
is.
It's a big adjustment.
Yeah, and so he's playing the piano. He's still early in the process, and stuff, figuring things out. And so he was had a series of songs that were all in different time signatures. So it was funny because we were in 3/4. He's playing this song and he was messing up, and we were redoing and we're talking to him. I mean, we were really grinding it out, And then at one point he stops and he says, "Oh man." So, counting is, really the key here.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
It's really funny. And his dad was sitting next to him, busted up laughing. And he said, it's what he's been trying to tell you for, the last 3 months.
But,
Well, at least he got through.
I know, and that's what I said. I said, hey, as long as he gets it, I don't care how long it takes. If he gets it,
we say a lot of things to students, but when they get it, it's the same thing. They all of a sudden it'll click. Whatever the click is, they get it. They're like, oh, so I have to relax.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. So if I just relax, or whatever. We talked about that last
knowing
time.
something and realizing something are two different things.
Yeah.
You could know that that's what you're supposed to do, but fully realizing why that's important or how it works or how it fits into the process is a totally different thing. And so sometimes you can get the information, but you got to experience it in order to value it.
And that's it. A lot of times too, when you're teaching, you kind of give them the information, and then they go home and practice through the week. Then you come back and demonstrate that you can play. But it takes, sometimes they got to process something throughout the week. And that's why if a student doesn't practice regularly, they don't get that processing time. It cuts it short, and you kind of are cutting that process short a little bit. But it was a very good revelation for him, and not just him, but other students as well. It was a good week of teaching.
I had a drum student start the other day, and he has a lot of experience playing the I think it was a trumpet and
viola. I think
and
trumpet
viola.
and viola. Yeah.
So he knew some music theory, and he just was like a fish to water when it came to playing the drums. Yeah, it was so
cool.
Just part of you just goes, oh, this is so good. Because he's getting it, and he's right off the bat. The only thing was he was a little nervous at first, so there was some sort of not paying attention enough things going on, and then he focused in on that, and he started nailing that, and every time I correct him, he'd jump right on it, he'd pick up on it, and he'd go, and he was cleaning up, man. And I see this kid, he's gonna do well. He's gonna get to play the drums pretty well, 'cause I love seeing that. It's like the previous experience really helped him out, and he's, like I said, he's doing great, and he's excited about playing the drums.
Yeah.
So
When I was talking to somebody else about that, being able to play different instruments, and we've talked. This is something we've discussed on the podcast before, but it's not as I don't know the right term. It's not as out there as it seems to some people that you could play multiple instruments well.
It used to be out there.
Yeah.
When I first started this business in '97, it was a foreign concept.
Yeah.
If you're a drummer, you can't teach anything else but drums.
Well, and it was, it was like sometimes we've gotten calls like that. Like I was remembering that one time somebody called and was like, well, your banjo teacher, was that his first instrument? Was it banjo?
Yeah.
And like
that's my sole thing on if I want to take lessons from you guys.
Is he a real banjo player?
Yeah.
Like oh, come on. And banjo.
Well, it could be based on previous bad experience with other places where they were trying to take lessons.
That's true, right? Because if it's the kind of thing where, somebody is, they kind of have a general understanding, but not really, then I could understand that, being a problem, but a lot of it's so, if you study music, then it's so many of the same principles.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
Yeah.
Now if you are just learning songs, if you're just matching somebody's movements,
it doesn't work.
It's different.
No, that's
too much gaps in your understanding.
Exactly.
But growing up, my probably was my second piano teacher, but I had him the longest, was a violinist. And he that was his main instrument, was violin, but he also taught piano. And he did wonders for me because he taught me theory. He taught me how to read chord symbols. He taught me how to chord things and inversions and play, more contemporary things, even though I was still playing the classics.
Right.
But he opened up this whole world. I was telling a student the other day, once I realized I could play chords, I could play and sing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was like, now I'm 12, I'm in middle school, and I'm playing and singing Barry Manilow and Elton John, and I'm doing talent shows because I could play and sing, because I could chord.
Right.
And it wasn't because I was, playing all this technical stuff, but I knew the theory. And that, even to this day, is what is so great to me with the knowledge of music, is I can do more playing because I know music.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing is to know music, not just an instrument. Anybody can be a player. It's like putting a coin in a jukebox, But to be a musician is a lot different than being a player. It's so much far above just being a player, because you have the understanding of what music is and how it works and how it's interrelated and different things you can do with it and stretch things that you never did before. And
that's why, like, I was talking to somebody about this earlier in the week. Sometimes these kids that show up on these talk shows, that are playing their instruments, and they're like, oh, it's the next Prodigy, it's the next Mozart. It's like, I don't get as excited as everybody else does, because I sit there and go, okay, ask them to play something else.
Yeah.
Or give them something to sight read.
Yeah, let me see what they can sight read. Let me see them play with a group, play with a band. Let me see them in a couple of years. Are they still playing the same song?
Yeah.
Like that's
playing it all.
Or playing it all, exactly. Yeah. And sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of those stories, those prodigies, everybody's so quick to use that term.
Yeah.
But a lot of times those prodigies, that's exactly what they are. It's a flash in the pan. They learned one song, they did it really, really well, and yes, skill-wise it was impressive, but it gives the impression that this is a body of work that they have.
Right,
yes,
right.
And
that's
it's
very
not
important.
Yeah.
No, and it is, maturity adds to the ability to learn, really.
Yeah.
And we'll teach children on piano young, and we've taught 4-year-olds, but oftentimes it's difficult. The attention span is difficult, the dexterity is difficult. I mean, you do run into some 5-year-olds that really maybe have a little more maturity, and then they can go a little further. We had, I don't know how old Landon was when he started.
4.
Yeah, he was 4.
So he's made it. He's a success
Absolutely.
story that
100%.
made it from when he was 4 to now he's like a grown man. I don't even know.
Yes.
He's like 19, and he's still playing the piano, and he's still taking lessons.
Yeah.
But did Landon have supportive parents?
100%.
Yeah. Did he have
Absolutely.
parents that said, "Oh, you could quit anytime you want"?
No.
Not ever.
No.
Yeah.
And so it hugely made a difference. He was able to continue and continue to grow and thrive.
Absolutely.
And really develop. I mean, he's quite a pianist now.
Yeah.
I mean, and plays multiple styles and not just,
and so now the thing I'm thinking about is so we're talking about kids doing this, but one of our students this week got in touch with us and really proved that no matter who you are, how old you are, what you have, that when you apply yourself the right way,
and you get the right information,
and then you get the work.
So is this a cheers to Fransisco?
Cheers to Fransisco, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cheers to you, man. Absolutely.
Oh, I always forget to drink.
Quite impressive. He called and wanted guitar lessons because he wanted to go and major in music in college, and he was like, "Well, I got like 3 months to do this," and it's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And you don't want to tell him like, "Man, dude,
gosh.
there's no way you're going to do this."
Oh, definitely not. You don't want to say that, but that's like in the back of your mind. You're like, "This is really hard."
Yeah.
Like,
does he understand?
Does he understand what he's asking?
I want to climb the Matterhorn, and I got some new tennis shoes. I'm ready to go.
People have been preparing their whole lives for college and stuff, and he's literally. I have 3 months or whatever it was to get ready for an audition.
It was probably about three full months, but that was the thing. I mean, I was honest with him right up front, right off the bat. You got to understand.
This is what it's going to take.
This is what it's going to take. And I said to him,
and what a beautiful thing, because he understood that.
Yes.
He's like, okay, set.
Let's go. That was it.
I'm going to do this. You tell me what I got to do. And he did it.
He did it.
And he's getting top grades in his classes.
Yes. He's
doing
awesome. One of the top 3 guitar students now. He's got repertoire he's working on. He's one of the top in his theory classes.
We're gonna have to have him on the podcast.
We need to get him on the podcast.
Do. Yes.
Fransisco, if you're listening,
give us a call.
Yes.
We'll call you.
We want to get you on the podcast. Absolutely.
Yes, that would be great.
But that was the thing. It was so nice to hear. We really care about our students. I mean, I think that kind of goes without saying. So it's always nice whenever they, reach back and say, hey, this is what's going on. But it was also very validating, and it was just, it's great to hear. And it's not over, the story's not over yet, but just to see how much he's been able to accomplish now, and really starting from square one, in a short amount of time.
This is a guy that just knocked on the door one day.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, we're teaching, there's a knock on the door, and I go open it up, and he's like, you guys teach guitar?
That's funny.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's the thing is, so we got him, and he applied himself, he understood, we went through the process, and he's just doing great, and so
he was up for the challenge.
He even had to audition earlier than expected because they had an audition for like a scholarship or something, and so they went ahead and auditioned him then, and it was like a month before we thought he was going to audition.
Yeah. Well, and like in my head, it was like, I think I even told you guys, I'm like, all right, we're gonna see how he does this first week. I think we're gonna know a lot about him in the first week.
Yeah.
And when he came back the first week and showed me everything he did, I was like, okay, we got no problems. That's it. I said, all right, let's go. We got it. I got the plan. Let's do it. And that was.
Well, it is. It's really nice to celebrate those success stories.
Absolutely. It's the stuff that keeps you coming back, right? It's the stuff that keeps you motivated, and it is.
Success story.
It's great. It absolutely is great. So.
We love what we do. In case you didn't notice,
if you haven't figured that out.
And we talk about this all the time, that this isn't just a once a month thing that we get out and talk. I mean, most of the stories or things that we're talking about, we've already talked about throughout the week because we share with each other, the things that we're doing and the excitement and the ups and the downs. I mean, sometimes it can be discouraging too, but not often.
Yeah.
That's why those light bulb moments, those moments when your students succeed, that's why you become a teacher. That's what keeps you going.
That's the stuff.
It's what keeps you going, because the joy in seeing someone else discover something and run with it is, you can't. Oh yeah. You can't put a price tag on that. It really is exciting.
And a good teacher's able to find the right road to get in there to that inside that person to get them to understand the concepts of what you're trying
Absolutely.
to do and how to accomplish
Well,
it.
and it's so fun. I don't know about you guys, but I love listening to both of you teach because I learn listening to you teach, because you both do things with students that I would laugh because it's not always the way I would do it. And that's what's so neat about it. You know, there's times like I listen to you describe like a quarter note and an eighth note or a half note, and it's not at all the way that I describe what it is, you know, and you use these metaphors sometimes with your
See
drummers.
this thing that looks like Zorro's hat?
I know.
I gotta stop using it.
They don't know who
Nobody
It's so
Zorro is.
outdated. Zorro, you know, the look on her face like, what?
Zorro, yeah.
Who's Zorro?
Why is it so funny?
I'm used to be like Zorro the drummer. Does he have a hand?
Yeah,
You know,
that's it.
but then now we're so far past
Yeah,
that they don't even know who it is.
Yes.
I know, we got-
and that's
we
a
got-
half
Watch me
rest,
TV,
by the
I know
way,
it's
in
not on
case
there.
you were.
I know, right?
I
That's
know.
so funny.
Half rest, look it
Oh
up.
my
It's
gosh.
Zorro's
Yeah.
hat. There you go.
It is Zorro's
That's-
hat, though. It was a
It
good
really is.
metaphor for a long time.
Long time.
Well, and I always would, like, even this week I'm teaching somebody and it was at a hole rest, and I said, and the hole rest hangs in the hole. And they were like,
Huh?
what hole?
Yeah,
And I
that one loses me. There's
So
no
it's
hole.
like
There's
like
no-
if there's a stick figure that's walking along the line, and then
oh,
there's
and
a
he
hole,
falls,
in
in
the
the hole.
hole.
Oh, I got you.
That's it.
yeah, that went it completely
Yeah.
like, then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, it's like a upside down half rest. I mean, I don't know how all
Yeah,
you
it's-
know,
It's
you-
a hat turned upside
Yeah,
down.
Yeah, there
turn
you
upside
go.
down. It's a cup.
I don't know what it is.
It's an
It just
espresso
means-
cup.
It's an espresso cup. That's right. Oh my gosh.
It's a sewer with the manhole cover.
Yeah.
There you go.
Come
Well,
on.
and you said
Come on
something.
with some more.
You said something the
That's
other
so
day
funny.
to one of the drummers, and I thought they're not gonna. It was almost like H&R Puffin stuff or something. It was like
Oh
they're
my
not gonna
gosh.
know what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna have any
I have to
idea
reach back for
what
that
you're
one.
talking about.
Gosh, that's
No.
Well, it's the wonderful age of Google. You know.
Oh, you know what it
Google
was?
it.
We were talking about something, and you know, Romper Room. Now that's in my day when
I
I,
have no
see
idea.
Jimmy and Susie
Yeah.
and Bobby. She had this magic
Miracle
mirror.
glass.
And you said that somehow in the midst of a lesson.
I did?
Yes.
The romper room reference.
And it was just so funny, and I thought they
Oh
don't
my
have
gosh.
any idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
So
That's hilarious.
it is funny. I don't know.
Well, it got through to you.
Yes,
hey,
it did.
hey, that's it.
Yes.
Well, and you don't know. I mean, people make.
You have to
references.
try different
Yeah.
avenues to get
Yeah.
the point across.
That's
you
the idea.
Different ways of looking at it.
Exactly.
And sooner or later, you're going to hit one that
You
connects.
find one. Yeah.
No, I
that's-
love
that's
it. I think it's great, and you know, and I listen to you teach a lot too, and you use more modern references because you're younger, and you know, you're more hip and in
Yeah.
touch
Oh, yes,
with you
yes.
know.
Well, it's funny because there was an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, you know, which, you know, it's not my favorite show or anything, but there were a few times I'd see it and there would be some funny moments on
Yeah.
it, you know. And there's the one episode where it's like his son or daughter or one of them is like trading Pokemon cards with another kid, and she trades like 100 cards for this one.
Yeah.
And he clearly doesn't understand Pokemon. He's like, she got scammed. This kid, you know, is messing. How in the world can 100 cards be worth one? And so he goes and talks to the dad of the other kid, and they agree, yeah, that's not right. And so they make them redo the trade, and the daughter is so upset.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't understand, so he tells the grandmother, can you believe this is what happened? And then she said, well, wait a minute, what kind of card was it? And he said, oh, it was a, you know, Chorizo or something like that. And she said, oh, was it the gold one? And he said, yeah. And then she was like, oh no, like, and then she explains to him that's like a really, really rare card. So she actually got a good deal giving away all these 100 cards for that one rare one. And then they're all staring at her, and she's like, I'm grandma. This is what I do. There's sometimes like I will like look things up and stuff. I feel like that. Like I feel like, well, I'm Mr. K. Like I gotta know these things, you know.
there
And
you
so
go. That's right.
I'll ask kids questions. I'll
Yeah.
look things up, you know.
Yeah.
That way I can like keep it. So I'll be like, all right. So you remember in My Hero Academia how All Might did, you know, you know, but just enough to, you know,
Get an in.
Yeah.
And get somebody to understand and get some buy-in to what you're talking
That's
about.
it.
It's very cool. It
So,
is.
you
It's
know.
nice. Very good. So it was a good
Awesome.
week of lessons this week, and
Yes.
and I think, you know, I want to encourage all our students to keep up the good work, to keep practicing, Keep working on those skills that build. That was another thing this week, that was building skills. Why am I playing this song? Not so I can play the song, but so I can learn a skill to take me to the next level.
That's it.
It's just like video games, going to the next level.
Yes.
There you go. Leveling
Too
up.
often it's get to the end of the book instead of gaining the skills you're intended to learn before you get to the end of the book.
Yes.
When that takes a little bit more forethought, to realize that, it's not, that can be a goal to get to the end of the book or to learn that song or whatever, but the big picture has to be realized from time to time.
Yeah.
It is. It's about building these skills. It's not just about being able to do, it's being able to, what have you retained that you can repeat over and over again.
Yeah, that's huge. I think if a student can get that early on, that you're like, what's the skill you're trying to learn on this song? Okay, this song is eighth notes. Okay, we want to really focus on that, because the next song's going to have eighth notes, then it's going to throw in eighth rests. So now you have, and see, the drum book does that really clearly. In syncopation, it goes through.
Well, it's the reason why it's been around for a long time.
It's really good because it does those drills, and it has, and then it takes you to the next page. You add something else new.
My only thing about that book is they put dotted 8/16 after eighth notes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And then it takes me several weeks to undo that or to clarify that in the student's mind.
That's hard.
It is hard.
It's a difference between eighth notes and swing eighth notes.
It would almost be better, and I wonder if
do it at the end after you're doing all those combinations.
I'm wondering if I might try that with my next drum student. That we just skip it, because I think if you learn the 4/16 notes, the one end up, learn that first.
It gives it context.
Then you can say, see, the dotted 8/16 is like taking the E and out of it.
Yes.
Right.
And that's how the piano books do it. You go from
Alfred's piano books.
Yes, you do eighth notes, and then you do you go to 16ths, and you do the 4/16 notes.
Yeah.
And then you'll go to dotted 8/16.
I mean, that's the thing. There's been a few times where in some of these books, some of these methods, it's somebody's idea that, and maybe it's a bunch of somebody's ideas of how these concepts, the sequence in which these concepts should be taught, and a lot of times it's based on sound principles, but it's not necessarily an exact science, right?
Yeah,
well, when you see that it's confusing people, there's some people I could do that sequence and it goes just fine.
Yeah, there's no problem.
They do eighth notes, dotted 8/16. Kathy was like that. She just
nailed it out,
right? Yeah.
But she also had experience with other instruments and playing rhythm, so she understood what 16th notes were.
Makes sense.
It's like the one thing in the Alfred's book, it goes from doing that, then it goes to 3/8 time, and then 6/8.
Yeah, that one's
But and then it does triplets. So it doesn't do triplets before. So when they get to 3/8, it's really weird, and then they're really just counting 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then 6/8 it's just 4 5 6. And then when they get to triplets, then 6/8 makes more sense.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather teach the triplets first.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah.
So that's another one that is kind of, it gets a little bit murky with that.
There's so many times where I've had students where we get to like a 9/8 or something weird like that, and I'll tell them, look, it's just triplets. And then they go, oh yeah, there it is, because you can see it,
right?
Yeah. And I'm like, so I mean, that's. I feel like the triplets are a little bit more easy to relate to, and if you look at the grand scheme of music, I mean, there's more likely that you're going to have triplets in 4/4 than you're going to have 6/8 and 12/8.
Absolutely,
triplets are a really amazing thing in music, but sometimes the people count them triplet.
Don't even
get us going.
I try to point out to them that's not going to help you. You need to know your place in the measure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you're doing triplet, 3
what
and
beat are you
triplet,
on?
Yeah.
No, that's huge. That's a big one, and I've seen that especially with guys that are doing like drumline and things like that, because I think it's really common that percussionists get taught to count that way, and then they mess up, and that's why triplets are so hard for them.
They are.
Yes.
And there's so many times I've seen some of these young guys that are on drumline that when they come to lessons and we teach them how to count 1 triplet, 2 triplet, like all of a sudden it's like the door's unlocked. And
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Well,
and
if you don't count the numbers are what are the most important.
It's a placeholder.
It's even if all you're going is 1 2 3 4, and then you fill it in, but you've got to have those 1 2. You have to have those numbers. I mean, Yeah, I think that's difficult when it comes to triplets. So anyway.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a good place to wrap it up. We kind of went around a lot of stuff, but I think it was good. So thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Coffee with the Kays. And we hope to see you again for another episode. So make sure that you subscribe however you're listening to us, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Pod.
Well, and let us know if there's a
Boxcast.
dog pound.
We're all over the place, folks.
Well, and if there's a topic that you would like to discuss or have us discuss or interested in or something curious about us,
Yeah, we welcome the ideas.
We welcome questions. We welcome coffee.
We will never turn away coffee.
Never turn away coffee.
Unless it's Maxwell House.
Yes.
We know that doesn't work. But yeah, so thanks again for joining us. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Be sure to visit musiclessonspensacola.com for more information about taking lessons if you so desire. And everybody should. So everybody should take lessons. It's a great thing. And for all of our students that are listening to this podcast, go practice.
Yeah.
Right? We're proud of you. But keep up that practice. All right. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Coffee with the Kays.